What's going on? This is Diamond. This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave, the founder of the highest paid part-time job in the world. And what we're going to talk about really quickly is that, do you really know what real money is? And so, so we froze up for a second. So one of the issues is that, in dealing and trying to change a perception of what you believe about life or your ability to do something different in life, a lot of times you got to change your beliefs. One of the things that we're trying to do as marketers, and to give you some kind of insight on marketing, is we got to change what you believe about certain things that a lot of times to get you to move forward. Because for most people, what is stopping them from moving forward in life is their belief system. So one of the biggest challenges that we're having as black people in this particular space of trying to develop other black people, right, and trying to serve them at a higher level, is that they have an ingrained belief system that has been their whole life. And so anytime you present something, it goes up against that particular belief system. And so what we want to understand is that your beliefs about money and what you believe money is can be one of the walls that can be stopping you from getting to another level financially, right? Well, there's going to be another level. And then after that level, there's going to be another level. And we really got to understand that. So I wanted to kind of give you a story about how we came to this particular understanding, is because I was watching this video with Dame Dash. And when he was talking about the record industry, they were cutting contracts, right? And some of those contracts were for a few $1 million. And the people around him were so excited that they was getting, $3 million here, $4 million here, $5 million here. And he was trying to explain to them that that's not even real money. That's not the real money that's in this industry. And these people aren't even really giving us the real money that they actually have access to. And what we're supposed to do is fight, scratch, and claw each other to get access to a few $1 million here and there. And one of the things that he talked about was that if you can see your money, if it can be put in front of you physically, then you really don't have enough money. And I said, he's 100% right, because we hear a lot of times, especially in this online space, that I'm a 6-figure earner, which means that you did, I guess north of $100,000 or more. Or my business did, 6 figures last year. Or this woman launched and they did $1 million. And it's not to say that those things are not to be applauded. They are. If you had a business and you started at zero and you got that thing to doing $100,000 in revenue, that's a blessing. That's a good thing. But we got to start looking at our perception of money, right? And what real money is, because I can tell you for a fact is that you can take $250,000 in cash and you can put it inside a duffel bag. And you know what? There'll be plenty of room inside that duffel bag, right? You will be surprised how much money will fit inside a duffel bag. You could take $250,000 in cash, right? This is just 6 figures that everybody uses as this benchmark. You could take $250,000 and put it on your table and look at it. And it won't even look like a lot of money. Like, it won't really take up a lot of space. Okay, you'd be surprised where you could put money where it won't take up a lot of space. Okay, so we have this perception of what real money is, and because the way and the structure that we live in, for a lot of us, they keep a very, very tight constraint on money. So the average American, if you look at Social Security Administration data, almost 50% of the population makes under $40,000 a year. So because almost 50% of the population makes under $40,000 a year, if you go and find and you tell them, hey, I did 6 figures last year, that seems like a lot of money. Or when we see that this particular athlete or this entertainer got a few $1 million because of this deal, that seems like a lot of money. And that is a lot of money based on where they started. But it's not a lot of money based on how much money is in this actual system. Okay? And I want you to really, really understand that. So you got to start looking at your beliefs of money and what you really believe money to be. Because let me give you an example. There was an article that came out a few days ago that JP Morgan was found to be manipulating the futures market for precious metals. And they got fined $1 billion. 1 billion would it be? And if you notice, JP Morgan didn't come out and do a press conference and say that they're being unfairly attacked. They didn't come out and do a press conference and say, you know what, the SEC is against us and they just trying to stop how we moving. They didn't come out and do a press conference and say this particular political outfit is against us and, what we're trying to endeavor to do. They just paid the $1 billion fine. Why? Because to them, that's the cost of doing business. JP Morgan is making so much money that they can pay $1 billion fine and they just keep going on down the road because they understand what real money really is. If you look at the stock market, the two outfits, right, that are really moving the market is JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. That's why you can't let anybody tell you that Robin Hood traders are moving the market. The two outfits that are moving the market are JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. They're moving this market along. This market does what they want it to do, right? So they'll go into the futures market and they'll negatively manipulate the futures market to get what they want. They'll pay $1 billion fine because what they got out of the situation was way greater than $1 billion. So we got to really start examining what money is. And so one of the things that we endeavor to do at the highest paid part-time job in the world is to start changing your belief of money. Because many of you have been raised to believe that money only comes to you a certain way. Money only comes to you at a certain speed. Money only comes to you in certain amounts. And because you believe that, it now governs your behavior, and your relationship and your whole life is based around your beliefs about money. So you don't do certain things because you believe that those actions, right, are going to negatively affect your access to money, or you do things that can be detrimental to you because you believe that's the only way you're going to get access to a certain amount of money. And once you start to understand is that there's a lot of different ways to get money out of this system that we haven't been exposed to, it'll start to change your beliefs about money. And you'll start to realize that, one, money is really not that valuable. Money's not that difficult to obtain. There's literally trillions of dollars circulating to this system that you can tap into, right? But a lot of us have not been shown how to do it, because part of this system is to get the majority of the population to endeavor, right, on somebody else's behalf to make them wealthy, and they just take a small amount of money for their efforts. If I had control of this society, I would teach everybody three things. I would teach them how to sell and how to market. So that's really two things. We're going to put that under one umbrella, right? Everybody that comes out of high school needs to be proficient at selling, whether through the phone, through person to person, or through print. They need to be able to write copy and sell. They also need to understand how to market. They need to understand how to communicate to people, how to build relationships, how to understand how to communicate to people that they have something to offer that is going to be of value. And they got to understand how to do that in a positive and not a negative way. The internet has created a bunch of negative marketers because they're hiding behind the internet. I'm not a fan of that, because I'm not a fan of follow the leader marketing. And I'm not a fan of people misrepresenting who they really are through their marketing, unless you're an actor, and that's something totally different. The second thing I would do is I would teach people the real estate game. And I don't mean just one aspect of real estate. So I don't mean buying fix and flip. They need to learn the wholesale game. They need to learn subject to. They need to learn commercial real estate, because the real estate market is always a market that you can go into, right, and generate income, right, and also build assets that produce income and also build wealth. And then I would teach them how to trade some kind of market, whether it be Forex, the stock market, the options market, day trading, swing trading, intraday trading, cryptocurrency, futures. They would know those three things. And then once they understand those three things, their confidence to be able to go create income for themselves would change, because they wouldn't feel like, well, I'm dependent upon another group of people to put me in position to make money. Because if you can sell, you can always make money. If you're willing to get on the phone and make 200 calls a day, you can always go make some money, right? If you're willing to sit inside a car dealership and talk to 100 people a day to sell one car, you can always go make you some money. If you learn how to market really, really well, you can create really compelling offers, and you can always go make you some money. If you know the real estate game, you can always go make you some money, because there's strategies to make money in real estate even when the market is down. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. They only talk about strategies to make money when the real estate market is up. And if you understand how to trade a market, you can always go make money. So being efficient and proficient at these three areas allows you now to always go make money in this particular area that we call the United States of America. But the reason why we don't teach these things is because these major corporations who are still dependent upon human labor to make their money, they've legislated that, well, we need more workers, so we don't want you teaching people how to be independent of us. So everybody gets taught how to go to work for one of these major corporations and make that group of people wealthy, and you just make a certain amount of money per hour, and then that starts to become your belief on money, and then you teach that same belief to your children. So we got to really start examining what is real money, okay? And that's why when a person comes to me and they tell me, hey, you know what, I'm a 6-figure earner, I did this amount of money per quarter, or I did this amount of money last year, I'm happy for them because they're making money, and I want to see everybody make money. I'm happy for them because they may have started at 0 and they may have got themselves to a certain number. But because I know what real money really is, right? It doesn't blow my mind away because I know what real money really is. And I know that you can take literally massive amounts of money. And if you have it in the right note denomination, you can open up the panels of your car and put it in your car door panels and seal them back up and ride down the street. And you can literally be driving down the street with $250,000, $500,000 inside your car and nobody will know it. But because I know I've seen large amounts of money, I know you can do these type of things. Average person has never seen probably over $100,000 at one time. So we got to really start changing our perception of money, because a lot of us are making deals to make small amounts of money because we believe that is really a large amount of money. And just like Dame Dash said, what we think is a lot of money is not a lot of money. Because if you can take a certain amount of money and put it in front of you, then it's really not a lot of money based on how much money is in this economy. We're an economy that has trillions of dollars flowing through it. So a few million here and there is really not a lot of money. That's just the money that you may have access to at that particular time. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's really not a lot of money. Now, something else I want to talk about. We got to change our perception of money, because a lot of us wanted to go into business. And because we really don't understand money, we really can't have the right conversations about business. The average person that you may meet in business may not understand capital budgeting. They don't understand capitalization. They don't really understand these things because their perception of money is at a very, very small level. This is one of the reasons why so many of us think that we can start businesses without being capitalized, because we don't understand capital in the first place. So we got to really start understanding what real money is, what capitalization really is, right? What capital budgeting really is, so we can put ourselves in a position to push forward for ourselves and our families, because we understand these things. So I wanted to reach out to you because I really thought that was a profound statement by Dame Dash. And he may say a lot of crazy stuff, but every once in a while he says something that's 100% spot on. And his understanding of when he was in the music industry and the money that they were presenting to him really wasn't a lot of money. But they thought that he was going to think it was a lot of money because he was black and he was from Harlem. And he was kind of telling them like, yo, that's really not going to move me because I know how much money is really actually in this situation. Was very, very interesting. So if you know somebody that can get value from this, share it out. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you want to get more information on the highest paid part-time job in the world, reach out to me. This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave. I'll talk to you later.